So, boys and girls, yesterday we lost one of the greatest humans walk the face of this earth, and that was Phil Robertson. And he truly was a special person. And I got a little story I'd like to share about my experience with Phil. A lot of y'all may not know my backstory, but my dad actually passed away when I was 14 years old. And boys, my daddy liked to duck hunt, and Phil Robertson was his favorite to watch on the TV, just like all the rest of us. You know, when you lose your dad when you're about 14 or 15 years old, it's kind of a confusing time in life, and I really didn't know where to turn. So my mom and I were living in Memphis, and we moved back to our hometown of Amer, Mississippi when my dad died. And I tell you boys what, I stopped by the local Walmart one day, and there was one of them Duck Commander duck calls on the shelf. And on the back of that daggum call, it had a phone number, and it was straight to West Monroe, Louisiana, to Duck Commander headquarters. And me being the sad, lost little boy that I was at that time period of my life, I actually called that phone number and asked to talk to Phil Robertson. I told my story to that little lady that answered the phone that day, and I tell you what, by nightfall, Phil Robertson had called and checked on me. Now, I want y'all to imagine being 15 years old and the Duck Commander calls you. Boys, I was so excited I couldn't see straight. He talked to me a pretty good while that first conversation, boys, I tell you what, and he gave me a lot of hope and a lot of faith left, for what was coming. And being that lost little 15-year-old boy, Phil called and checked on me about every Sunday, you know what I'm saying? He didn't have to do it. He just wanted to make sure old JL was doing all right, I guess. Those Sunday conversations with Phil were about the only thing that kept me going, boys, I tell you what. And by golly, I even got to go duck hunting with him at the end of that season, too. I really appreciate all the time that Phil took with me because, boys, I tell you what, the world's kind of a weird place when your daddy dies at 15. You really don't feel like you got anybody on your side. But I always had my old buddy Phil to look up to. You know what? He really lived the life and set the example for a lot of us to even follow in the outdoor industry. It's now kind of strange to me with this whole influencer videos, people watching it kind of stuff that, I hope that all I can do is pass it on to somebody else too. Thank you, Phil. I swear to God, bro, you meant the world to me. Come on.